Cool. All right, so we're going to start lying down on your backs with your knees bent. So just lying flat on your back, knees bent. Take a little load off, feel the mat underneath you. Take a nice deep breath. Closing your eyes and placing one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, still lying on the earth. Just taking nice, slow, deep breaths. Bringing your focus to your practice for the next hour. And then starting to see if you can slow your breath down. So taking a nice deep breath in, letting the shoulders relax, feel the belly softening into your hand, the chest rising. And then a long, slow exhale. Deep, soft opening inhale. Long, slow exhale. Try to soften the chest and the belly with the inhale. And with every exhale, start finding those abdominal muscles up the front of your spine and just playing with drawing your belly in towards the front of the spine, excuse me. So just letting that inhale be expansive and soft and open, a nice deep inhale. But then as you exhale, just bringing your concentration and focus to that front of the spine and seeing if you can find muscles all the way up the front of the spine. So doing that for 4 more breaths, using this time just to connect with those core muscles. So with the inhale, just let it all go. Just take a deep breath in, let everything soften. And then as you come to that exhale, bring your focus to the front of the spine, really exploring which areas you have connection, which areas you find it harder to find those muscles. And then another deep inhale. And with every one of these kind of focused exhales, seeing if you can just start to grip those muscles a little more firmly at the front of the spine and just feeling what that does to the rest of your back muscles, to your shoulders, just playing with those muscles up the front of the spine. And then releasing both the hands so that the arms are next to you with the palms facing upwards. Taking a nice deep breath. And drawing the knees into the chest. So practice that lengthening of the tailbone, scooping your lower belly and drawing the knees in and popping the hands on top of the knees. So we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, trying to use those belly muscles to draw them in. Try not to use the hands to do that. So lengthen tailbone, scoop the belly, and on an exhale, squeeze the knees towards you. Inhale, just let it release a little bit. Exhale, scoop the belly, find those belly muscles to draw the knees in. Exhale and inhale. And one more, exhale. Scoop the belly, really connecting your core to drawing those legs all the way in. And then coming back to center. And then we're just going to open the knees wide. Inhale. And exhale, again, scoop the belly and squeeze the inner thighs, draw the knees in towards each other. Inhale, open, so do that 4 more times. Scoop the belly, exhale, squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale, this is all about awareness, so even if it's not difficult, still try and scoop your belly and squeeze your inner thighs, just enhancing that engagement between the inner thighs and that lower abdominal strength. And then scoop the belly, squeeze the knees, find the inner thighs, drawing the knees together. And one more, inhale, open the knees apart. And exhale, scoop the belly, inner thighs, draw in. So now you're going to lift the legs up, straightening them up above you. Try have the ankles above your hips, and if the hamstrings aren't letting that happen, just bend the knees a little bit. And then bring the hands behind your head. And we're just going to do 3 little kind of sit-ups, but I don't want you to curl. I want you to try and lift the whole spine off the earth. So lengthen the tailbone, find those belly muscles up the front of the spine, hug them into the spine, and then try and lift the whole shoulder and head off the floor and come back. And then again, try and lift up nice and straight and come back, and just another 2 more. So exhale and come back. And exhale and come back. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg, bend the knees, and see if you can bring the legs into eagle legs here. All right, and then we're going to squeeze the knees towards you as you lift the shoulders up and scoop the belly and exhale. And inhale, release. Try to get some stretch in the belly as you release. And then as you exhale, scoop the belly, squeeze the knees towards the chest. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then releasing. Let's just straighten the legs, but keeping them crossed, and do 3 more little crunches here. So scoop the belly, lift the chest up, exhale, and come down again. 2 more. And inhale, exhale, and release, undoing the legs. Maybe draw the knees into the chest for a second, reaching the legs up again, doing that whole cycle again with the other side. So first the legs are straight, maybe spread the toes apart and kick the feet up, practicing your inversion legs. Lengthen tailbone, scoop the belly, shoulders come off. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, lengthen the belly, exhale, scoop the belly, and then coming down. And now crossing that left knee over the right leg, bending the knees, maybe the feet cross over at the bottom into an eagle, and then 5 of these. Really try to get length as you relax. So inhale, open the front of the body, exhale, scoop the belly, lifting the chest, squeezing the knees, and inhale, release. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and last one, inhale, exhale, and then I'm straightening the legs, keeping the little cross there, just doing 3 with the legs crossed. So here, practice squeezing the inner thighs together, scoop the belly, and hug your belly up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. And then undoing those legs again. Spread the toes, push the base of the big toe away from you, press the base of the baby toe, leaving the hand here, and just 3 more of these. So scoop that belly, find the muscles at the front of the spine, have an exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and then slowly bringing the knees down. So here we're going to pop the palms of the hands onto the floor, and we're going to lift the legs up into a little baby shoulder stand and come down again. So you're just going to lift up and come down, and lift up, try to scoop the belly, try to find that core action here, just practicing this lift, so that when we do our shoulder stands, we lift using the core. Just 2 more. 1, And final one, 2. And then we're going to do one more, and we're going to pop up to sitting. So rolling all the way up, coming into a seated position. And then here we're going to keep the feet together and open the knees apart and interlace the fingers with the index finger and thumb pointing out. A little Charlie's Angels pose here. So you can choose here. You're going to open the knees as you scoop and squeeze up, and then bring the knees together as you go back for an inhale. And exhale, scoop the belly, exhale, open the knees. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Scoop the belly, squeeze up. And one more, inhale and exhale. And then bring the knees together and drop the head onto the knees. So you're going to do that 3 more times. You can choose to stay with that one, or you can level it up a little bit, lifting the feet up off the floor. Still the same. As you exhale, the knees are open, squeeze up. As you inhale, see how much strength you have and how low you can go with the inhale and exhale. Making sure with all of these that you're always gripping with the belly and you're using your core. If you're using other muscles, rather back off and find that core strength. So lifting up 5 of these. Inhale, release. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And one more inhale. And exhale. And just pop the feet on the floor for a moment. Take a nice deep breath. Check in that you're not overdoing it. The first place you'll feel it is that lower back. Just take support, take a modification. And then last round, so your choice, whichever one. As you open the knees, scoop the belly and squeeze up. As you inhale, still keeping that belly obviously involved. And inhale, scoop and squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale and inhale. I think that was the last one. Shall we do one more just because we can? Inhale and exhale and crossing your legs under. Let's practice this little transition here. So tucking the toes, hands in front of the knees, scoop the belly. See if you can lift your feet up and cross over the other way. Tuck the toes, the hands in front of you. Scoop the belly, lift up, good. And last one, tuck the toes. So get into this nice ankle mobility here, lifting up and over and coming into your downward dog. So knees are bent. We're trying to get the back to lengthen up and over the heels. So scoop your belly and lift the hips up and send the hips over the heels. Press the hands into the earth. Lengthen the spine. Maybe press with your right hand and let that right side lengthen, and then press with the left side. Just seeing if one side's getting a little more length than the other. And taking a nice deep breath here. And exhale. Scoop the belly, send the weight of the pose over the heel, the back of the heels. And then inhale, looking up. Keep the hips lifted, nice and bent knees, but lifting the hips as you bring the feet to the front of the mat, coming to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Nice and generous bend in the knees. Don't push the hamstrings at this point. Try and have the hands flat on the floor, even if that means the knees are very bent. Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, squeeze those sit bones, scoop the belly, lengthen the spine up and over and drop the head. And then on the next inhale, we're going to open, lengthening the breastbone away from the belly button, getting length at the front of the body, a little back bend here. And then again, squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, forward fold. And this time coming up to standing. So nice generous bend, scoop the belly, press the feet, reach all the way up overhead, and exhale. So I've disappeared. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. We're going to do a sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, open the heart. Exhale, forward fold again, sending the feet to the back of the mat, all the way down through a plank to the earth. And inhale, cobra or upward dog. And then back to downward dog. And 5 breaths here. So take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, scoop the belly, lengthen the spine, send the hips over the back of the heels. Inhale, deep breath, let the chest expand. Exhale, finding all those muscles up the front of the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more, number 5. And exhale, looking up, take an inhale and try and float those feet forward by lifting your hips up, coming to the front of the mat. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, scoop the belly forward, fold, and strong legs, strong belly. Inhale all the way up to standing and bringing the hands down to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, another sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, open the heart. On the exhale, the feet step back and we go all the way down to the earth. Beautiful chaturangas here. Keep the belly engaged. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Nice and strong in your plank. Back to your downward dog. Taking nice deep breaths here. So pressing those hands into the floor. Try and lengthen the spine. Try and move the shoulder blades open a little bit away from each other, creating space in the spine. They're sending the spine over the back of the mat. Good. Take another full breath there. Full exhale, don't rush. And then looking forward, inhaling. Try and lift those hips up as you float the feet forward. However many steps you need. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, scoop that belly. Find that core strength to help lengthen the spine over the legs. Soften the knees, strong in the belly. Lifting all the way up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, step the feet back, plank, push up, chaturanga, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, scoop the belly, find that strength, push the hips back. And then in your downward dog, taking every chance to breathe through every shape that we're doing. So press the hands into the earth, lengthen the spine. As if you're pushing the mat away from you, but the hands are stuck. So as you push the mat, the back lengthens towards the hips. On the next breath, just focus on your rib cage. See how much breath you can get in there and feel the back of the body being stretched to its limits, getting all that action in between the rib cage. And then as you exhale, imagine the back of the legs lengthening and softening. Inhale, fill the lungs with air. Exhale, let the back of the body completely melt. And then looking forward, squeeze your belly into your spine, particularly in between the hip bones, getting those legs to come forward. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, nice and soft in the knees. Use the front of the body. Push you all the way up. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead and some steady heat. Coming into chair pose. So we're going to do a modified sun salutation B today. So we'll do the normal start with the chair pose. Inhale. So coming into chair and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, open the heart. So go all the way through plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then we're going to do 3 transitions into warrior one. So we're going to lift the right foot forward, step the foot, slide the back heel. Inhale, come up to warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down. Bring your foot back to a downward dog. And do the same on the right leg again. So lift the right knee into the chest, step forward, slide the back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down. Bring the foot back to a downward dog. Last time, right foot again. Step the right foot forward, slide the heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the floor, taking the leg back. Have a little downward dog, and then if you feel like you want it, come into your plank, chaturanga, upward dog. And then we'll move back to do the same thing on the left-hand side. So lift the left knee into the chest, step the left foot forward, slide the right heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Ooh, habit. Same on the left leg. Step the left foot forward, slide the right heel, and warrior one. And bring the hands down. One more time. Take the foot back to downward dog. Step the left foot forward, slide the right heel, press through the feet. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale. And then from here, going through downward dog, or if you want a vinyasa, go through the chaturanga, upward dog, and then a final downward dog. Take a nice deep breath. Feel the length in your spine. Enjoy your downward dog. 3 more breaths. Exhale, scoop the belly, send, squeeze those sit bones together, finding that length in the spine. And then looking forward, let's jump the feet forward. So bend the knees, bring the shoulders over the wrists, and try and kick the bum as you come forward. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, bend the knees, lifting the arms through chair pose. And exhale. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time with that little variation in between. So bend the knees, chair pose. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, open the heart. Feet to the back of the mat. Exhale. Down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then 3 warriors on the right side. Step the right foot forward, slide the left heel. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Take the foot back. Right foot again. Left heel. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, downward dog, right foot, slide the heel, inhale, exhale. If you want to take another vinyasa through the chaturanga, inhale, upward dog, downward dog. Remember, you can always back off, you can always stand downward dog, you can go to tabletop or child's pose, lie on your back, do your practice. Right, left leg. Step the left leg forward, slide the right heel. Inhale. Exhale. Take the left foot back. Inhale, left foot forward, slide the right heel. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, left leg forward. Slide the right heel. Inhale. Exhale. And then another vinyasa if you want. Otherwise, stand downward dog. All the way through. Inhale. And exhale. And downward dog. 5 breaths. Finding every angle of your downward dog. So press the hands. Slide the shoulders a little bit away from the ears. Relax the neck. Explore every part of your body in this pose. You guys have done this pose enough times to really start to feel what's going on. If I squeeze my sit bones together, what happens to my spine? If If I push my heels down, what happens? If I relax my shoulders a bit, what happens? And then looking up and then practicing a little jump. So bring the feet together, shoulders over the wrists, bend the knees, scoop the belly, lift the legs. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, scoop your belly, forward fold. Bending the knees, coming up to a chair pose. Scoop the belly, lengthen the sides of the waist. And Samastitihi. Beautiful. And then we're going to go into a little forward bend. So just jumping the feet apart so that they're hip width distance apart. Lengthen the spine up and over, hinging at the hips, leaning into the toes. To get the weight into the toes, scoop your belly, but stamp the heel at the same time. Reaching for the earth, bending the knees if you need to. And just 5 breaths here. Practice squeezing the sit bones, but still pressing the bases of the big toes into the earth. So as you squeeze the sit bones, you might feel the feet roll open. And then balance that by pressing the base of the big toe. So really exploring the subtleties of these poses. And then bend your knees, hands on the hips, float the body back up to standing. And then we're going to go into forward fold again. So lean into the toes, lengthen the spine up and over, and then coming to hands on the earth. And if the hands have reached the floor, you can place the hand, a whole palm of the hand under the foot. You may need to bend the knees here. I like bending the knees here because you can really feel the front of the thighs, and then scoop your belly away from the front of the thighs and let the head relax. And then you also get a really nice feel of weight onto those hands. So maybe press the base of the big toe into the knuckles, base of the baby toe, giving your hands a nice massage. Letting the head release. And then slowly coming out. So nice and strong in the legs. The knees are bent, but still activate the legs, lifting the front of the body, coming all the way up to standing. Okay, and then step the feet wide on the mat and turn the right foot parallel to the long side of the mat and coming into your triangle. So we're still kind of following the Ashtanga primary series, but we're just doing a few variations. Okay, so reaching that arm over, coming into your version of a triangle pose. So what's important, you may be all the way down here at the foot or all the way up here, but just make sure that this hip feels okay and that this leg is strong, that you're not pushing that knee in and leaning into the knee joint. You want to lift that kneecap and get that quad nice and strong. So you're probably on breath 3 already. See here if you can press the feet, scoop the belly and spiral the spine open, finding more space in the chest and a deeper breath. Good. And then for the next one, look down at the toe, press through the feet, nice and strong, strong in the belly, come all the way up, and look over towards the left, turning that left foot around and getting ready on the other side. So this side may be different. Find where the hinge in this hip is. Make sure that this leg is nice and strong. So you're not leaning into a locked knee here. Press through the base of the big toe on the left foot, lifting the kneecap, and just finding where your pose is today. It can be all the way up here. And definitely if you're finding that this rotation in the hip is too much, or a little gentle bend in this knee will help you, do what feels good for your body. As long as you're not just taking the easy way out, but you're actually exploring what serves your body best. Good. And then looking down at that left foot, press through the foot, nice and strong in the leg, engage that belly a little more to come all the way up, and then turning around to the other side. We're going to do a twist towards this right leg this time. So bring the right hand onto the hip and spiral towards that right leg. You can be anywhere up here. You might even want to just stay in the forward bend, but just see if there's a little bit of a spiral towards that leg. So on the side it will look like this. And then anywhere with that arm, you could just keep the hand on the hip and practice spiraling the legs. Squeeze those sit bones together to try and get the stability in the legs. Try to spread the toes, press the feet, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the sit bones. Good, and then slowly coming up, taking a breather here, moving around to the other side. Legs are straight, hands on the hips, and keeping that left hand on the hip. Really see how much you can swivel the hips and squeeze the sit bones together before you start adding the twist. And then lifting and squeezing the belly. Try and squeeze the inner thighs together. Sit bones squeeze together. Scoop the belly and spiral from the middle to the upper back. Try and spread the toes. Try to find the strength all the way from the feet pressing into the earth, inner thighs squeezing, sit bones squeezing, scooping the belly space in the spine, and then slowly coming up. Beautiful. And then coming into the warrior on the other side. So usually we have a little tadasana in between, but we'll go straight to warrior. Okay, so you can choose to stay up here depending on how you're feeling, just practicing this warrior pose, practicing squeezing the sit bones, keeping the hips facing the long side of the mat, or you can add the side angle into that. So reaching down, that can go here, just lifting up and getting some length through that left side of the body. Take 2 more breaths here. See if you can soften the shoulders down the back and find some openness in the chest. Good, and then slowly coming up again, imagining you bringing your weight up off the floor. So press through the feet, squeeze the belly, lift all the way up, turn the feet, and come to the other side. And then again here, you could choose to just practice this warrior 2 here, or coming into that side angle. And remember to just feel where your body is, learn those internal cues. So are my feet able to stay nice and firmly planted? And can my core support this lower back hip area? Those are 2 places where if you start to feel a shift, maybe stop there and then breathe into the shape. And then maybe you'll start to find more stability to go a little bit deeper. No sense in rushing, you've got those full 5 breaths to really let your body move into the pose and show you how deep you're meant to go today. And then always finding that exhale with a nice deep core draw in. It always helps. And then lifting back up to standing and coming all the way around to that right leg again. Bending both knees, coming into kind of 90-90 lunge. So stepping that right foot a little bit forward so that you've got a little bit of length in the front of the hip here. And then we're going to reach that left arm up and spiral towards the right leg. So I'll just show you on this side. So you're going to cross the arm up and over. So you might land, again, in very different places. You can bring the hands together in a prayer here. Some might bring the shoulder all the way down and then the hand comes here. But notice how when you straighten the arm, there's a lot of leverage or levering going on in the spine there. So just make sure your spine's happy with that. And then find some core stability there. Take a breath there with the legs bent. And now practice squeezing those sit bones together at the back here and scooping the belly. And then for 2 breaths, maybe lift up that back leg and see if there's a little more movement or somewhere else to go in the pose. You may have reached your edge. Don't go further. Just stay there and breathe. Cool. And then slowly coming down, let's drop the back knee. Facing forward, just let the spine be neutral for a moment. And then spiraling to the other side. So we'll now go onto the left leg. Keeping that back knee on the floor. See how much room you've got to lengthen that back right hip. Lifting up the right arm and squeezing the belly and seeing how much space. Be nice and stable here. Find your core strength. Resist the temptation to use that arm to pull your spine where you think it should be. Find where you're stable. Then squeeze those sit bones, scoop the belly, and then tap that back foot and come into the standing. It's really going to help you have a nice, stable standing pose. Squeeze the sit bones. Beautiful. Nice deep breath. And then slowly coming down. Now the hard part here is you're going to try step to standing from here. So come up to standing. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath. Cool. And then set the feet wide, coming into forward fold with the straddle legs. So inhaling, take a nice deep breath, find a little back bend here, lengthen the tailbone, lift and open the heart. And then exhale, sliding up and over into a forward fold. Again, the hands are reaching for the earth. If you're lucky enough to have some blocks or books or a bed or table, then by all means use modifications to play with the depth of the pose. If you have nothing and the legs are not giving you hands to the floor, just bend the knees. Drop the head down to the earth. And have a look at those elbows and have the hands shoulder width apart and squeeze the elbows together. And then if the hands on the earth, press the hands into the floor, squeeze the elbows together. And then as you're pressing the hands into the floor, pull the fingertips towards the heels. So pull them back without the hands moving, and that's going to help you get a little more length in the spine. And then press the heels into the floor and press the heels of the hands forwards and see how that comes into the hips. And then press through the feet, bending the knees, coming all the way up again. And then take another little back bend. So slide the fingertips down, lengthen the tailbone, lift and open the heart. Inhale. And then exhale. But this time we're going to grab the interlaced fingers behind and reaching up and over into the forward fold. Press the heels into the earth, squeeze the heels towards each other. Try to soften the elbows. Squeeze those sit bones, scoop the belly, lift the front of the thighs up towards the hips. Try to strengthen those legs. And then nice and strong, press the feet into the earth, bend the knees, nice and strong, coming all the way up. Let's reach the arms overhead. And exhale, bringing the hands to the heart. So we're going to come into the balancing pose now. We're going to lift the right leg up, and you can choose what's appropriate for you. So I'd like you to at least practice balancing. So we do standing head to knee, which is when we kick the leg out from this position. If that's not available to you, at least practice standing with your core drawn in and that knee lifting. And then you can just open the knee to the side. And then you can also choose if you want to do it with the leg out in front of you. And then you can also choose if you want to do a sit-up onto the leg. So if you've been in there for a while already, take another deep breath and then open the leg to the side. If you're just starting, do 5 breaths and 5 breaths. Give yourself a chance. Don't take too long a deep breath. And then open. And then if you're on a boat that's rocking too much, you can choose to do this. I'll forgive you if you do this on your back. So 5 breaths on your own. So some of you are likely to be coming out of that by now. And then do a little sit up onto your leg. Beautiful, guys. And then let's practice holding that leg up. So scoop the belly, point the toe. 3, 2, 1, and bring the leg down. Beautiful. All right, and then the other side. So again, if straightening the leg is too much, just get that practice of balance here. scooping the belly, lifting the leg. And then you've got your 5 breaths. So either here, you might want to do the sit-up onto it as well, or the bent leg, and then the bent leg open. So you're probably on 3, 4, 5. And then your 5 on this side. And 5. Coming back in again. Do your little sit-up. And then holding that leg, pointing the toe. Scoop the belly. 3, 4, 5. Woo. And then bending the knees and walking a little bit. Well done. Okay, and then the next pose in primary series is usually this tree pose with the Ashtanga leg. But today I think we're going to bend the knees and we're going to pop that ankle onto the knee with an open. And then some of you have been practicing this with the forward bend, so you can add a forward bend with this pose as well. So squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, lengthen the spine up and over, and then maybe seeing if the earth is available to you. I love this pose because it's a prep pose for a little arm balance, so you can see the foot grabs onto the top of the outer arm. But we might just leave it at that. And then very important, coming out, the knees bent, scoop your belly, stay nice and stable, and then coming up and to the other side, and then finding this on the other side. So bend the knees, lift the leg open. So remember that the knee is going to respond to how much the hip opens. So if you're feeling this is too much already, rather stay here. Don't start adding a forward bend to it because that's going to increase the stress on the knee if the hip is not opening. So as always, listen to your body. All of these involve a lot of squeezing of the sit bones, scooping of the belly to stabilize everywhere. And then see if that left foot can do like a little monkey foot grip on the top of that upper arm. See if there's maybe a bend in the knee, but really listen to what that knee joint's doing. And then slowly coming up. Bend the knee, press that foot into the earth, nice and stable. And coming up to standing. And then inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, and we're going to go through another sun salutation. So inhale, open the heart. Exhale, feet to the back of the mat, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And we're going to jump the feet forward, keep the knees bent, and come up into a chair pose. So today you can choose. Either you're going to really try and work your knees into a full bend here and lift up, or you can come a little higher. Then I'm going to ask you to do a power chair and send the sit bones back. Reach the arms forward for the third breath, fourth breath, and a fifth breath. And on your exhale, drop the hands to the floor, forward fold. Inhale, open the heart. Step the feet back to exhale, down to the earth. Inhale, open up. And exhale, downward dog. All right, then we're going to step your right foot forward. And then bring the hands onto the inside, onto a lizard pose. So both hands on the inside of that right leg. Drop the back knee, keep the left hand on the floor, and inhale, open the right arm up. And exhale, bringing those hands down. So we're going to do like we did on the other day. Now you're going to heel toe your right foot to the middle of the side of the mat and come up into a side plank, which is supported. Nice deep breath here. See if you can open the heart, And then we're going to come into that twist, just like we did on Monday. Tucking that foot under, coming into a little twist on the floor. Lifting the left arm up and spiraling into a twist. So the left hand is on the outside of the right knee or sitting on top of the knee. Taking a few breaths here. So just hang out here for a moment. Feeling that spiral in the spine. Hopefully you've chosen a shape that feels good for your body. So settle for a little. And then in the last two breaths, take a deep breath in and lift and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, squeeze the belly muscles into the spine, seeing how much control you have and how much awareness you have of those muscles around those vertebrae. Maybe letting the head turn over the right shoulder if that's super comfortable for your neck. And then just like we did the other day, come to center facing the knee, and then send both hands onto the left of you and slowly walk the hands to the back of the mat, spiraling into a downward dog. And then you're just going to step the left foot forward into a lizard pose on the left side. So the hands are on the inside of the foot. I'm trying to see what, there we go. And then dropping that back knee, now keeping the right hand on the floor and spiraling towards the left. Good, and then bringing that hand down and then heel toe the foot, the left foot to the middle of the mat and onto the outside of your right foot, coming up into a side plank that's nice and supported. Obviously, if you feel like it, always when we do this, you can then lift up into a full plank. If that's a full side plank, it's up to you. And then bringing the hip down and coming into a little twist here. So now the left leg is up and over the right. And then taking that left hand, reaching the right arm up, spiral towards that left leg into a little twist here. So first finding a nice comfortable place to be. And then taking 2 breaths to see if there's a little more place to go in this pose. So inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, explore those muscles close to the vertebrae at the front of the spine. Seeing if there's any little lazy parts of the core that have decided not to work. And then doing another little breath there. And then again, explore the entire front part of the spine, finding those little flat spots, trying to wake it all up. Good, and then gentle unspiral to face that front leg. And then both hands onto the right side, and then walk them away from you, coming into your downward dog. And then from downward dog, you're going to bend the knees and try and pop the feet towards the hands, but coming down onto the floor and straightening your legs out into a Dandasana. Five breaths here. Lift the belly into the spine. Try not to puff the chest out. Try to lift the lower rib cage in and up. And then we're going to add a little forward bend in today. You're going to bend your right knee up towards you. And this may be feeling like enough flexion in the hip and there's enough going on, so you can stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, we're going to take that right hand onto the inside of that right leg. Lift the arm up and see if you can reach the spine forward And then stay here. You might need the left hand for support, but if you've got enough squeeze in the belly, you might be able to reach both hands. Don't worry about the toe. Worry about how much spine you're feeling can come through there. Some of you might be able to reach around and do a little bind behind this leg here. It's not necessary, just depends where you are here. Finding that squeeze in the sit bones and that scoop in the belly to free the spine over that leg. And then coming back up to center, just place the hands on either side, lift both the legs up and switch them around. Lifting the left arm up, lift and lengthen through the spine, squeeze that lower belly and see if there's space to come through. You may find that staying here is perfectly enough challenge for you today. Listen to your body, and you might need support of the right hand or squeeze that belly and support in that deep core as you hold yourself in this pose. Remember, don't bring your focus to, I'm going to get my head to my toe. Don't worry about that. Squeeze the belly, lengthen the spine. Find that space in the spine and that strength at the base of the core. All right, and then coming back up to center, and then lift both legs up and straighten that left leg out again. And then we're going to open, so taking the outside of your foot and opening the hip into a little kind of rocking scenario of holding and supporting this. You may want to bring that elbow around there. It might not be available. You may be out here, but what we're trying to do is externally rotate this hip and just see what's available to you. So just sitting here like this. If you like to stay in one place, you can sit up here. Again, as usual, scoop that lower belly. See if it gives some lift in the spine and some support to the pose. And just moving into that hip a little bit. So if you're happy staying here, that's cool. You could, if you wanted to, see if there's some room to bring the leg over to the side here. That's where we're moving with this pose, but it depends entirely on what's going on with your hip. All right, and then again, undo the leg and lengthen the leg forward, and then lift your other leg up, externally rotate. So it's almost like you're putting this leg into a tree pose. Seeing how it feels. Hold this left foot on the outside of the foot, gently seeing how much rotation there is, never forcing. And just rocking this hip from side to side. And then maybe there's a little hold here. And just staying here for a moment. Good. And then undoing, scoop your belly so that the leg doesn't just thud to the earth, and lengthen the leg out. And then where you're at, we're going to come down to the floor. So reach the fingers out in front of you and scoop the belly and roll all the way down to the earth. I don't actually have the room. And then we're going to lift the knees up and roll into a shoulder stand. So that's anew. You can sit in a half shoulder stand, or you can lift the bum up over into a full shoulder stand. So playing with where you are. If you're not happy with shoulder stands, you can lift the legs up, and hold them here. Just practicing those elevated feet, spreading the toes, and lifting the legs away from you. You can also put the feet up against the wall, taking a nice deep breath. So wherever you are, you're going to drop the feet behind you into a plow. then we're going to start practicing coming up from that plow into, I've hit the mirror, from the plow into a boat pose, and eventually maybe holding the feet here for a second. So that's something you can start to practice, going from the plow pose, the feet are all the way behind you, coming all the way up into catching your boat pose here, and then crossing your legs. We're just going to do a little forward fold here over your crossed legs. So just forward folding. Nice deep breaths. And then releasing the arms in front of you. So it's quite nice also to release the hands behind you. If this isn't comfortable, a nice thing to do here now is also bend the knees and just drop the head. So what we really want is just a closed, kind of relaxed little forward fold with the head leaning into the feet, into the knees or the feet. And then we're just going to do a different little back bend today. So bring the knees apart and put the soles of the feet together. So you're in a Baddha Konasana, butterfly. And then just resting the hands behind you, squeeze the elbows together and open the chest into a nice little back bend. So this will take you deciding how much length you want in the front of the body. And nice deep breaths here. Trying to lift the chest, slide the shoulder blades down the back. And then you can slowly move down onto the floor lying on your back. But if you want a little more, you can bend the knees and lengthen the tailbone, lift up and open up into this. Lengthening the tailbone, lifting the belly. 2 more breaths. And exhale, coming all the way down. Lovely. Open the feet to the side and just drop the knees from side to side. And then slowly moving into Shavasana. So nice roll all the way down, scoop the belly, vertebra by vertebra. Allow your body to release into the earth. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. Let the legs straighten, toes fall open. Nice deep breath. Let your body sink into the earth. Allow the right foot to become heavy. The right leg sinks into the earth. The left foot becomes heavy and the left leg sinks into the earth. Feel the lower back softening, releasing, and sinking into the earth. Your whole back is heavy. Feel each vertebra releasing into the floor. Feel the shoulder blades melting. The right shoulder is heavy. The left shoulder is heavy. The arms become heavy. The hands sink into the earth. Feel your neck releasing. Your throat relaxes. The jaw releases. Your lips soften. The cheekbones soften. And the eyes completely relax. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, sigh out, just letting go of some tension. Nice deep breath in again. And exhale, sigh out. Maybe even open the mouth and have a good sigh. And slowly waking yourself up. Moving the fingers, wiggling the toes. Take a deep breath, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, drawing the knees into the chest, rolling onto your side into a little ball, supporting your head. Just taking a deep breath there. And taking your time to come up to seated. Just take a nice deep breath in. And bringing your hands to your heart. Another deep breath. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Just going to turn off.
Thank you.